Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Beresford speaking. Welcome to the British Isles. I would like to take this opportunity
this time on behalf of the entire crew and Air Canada itself to extend a greetings to the Halifax School Symphony Orchestra. We're traveling with us to London today on a return engagement to Halifax, England. We wish them a pleasant journey and a successful tour. Thanks for flying with us.
We're here. Welcome, everybody. Lovely to see you. Welcome to UK. Did you sleep? The next time you go to sleep is on this aircraft going back. And you probably won't then. It's super to have you. Lovely to see you.
The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, in cooperation with the Department of Music Education of the Halifax District School Board, proudly presents Halifax to Halifax. Highlights from the recent visit of the Halifax School Symphony Orchestra to Halifax, England. It had been 5 long years since the Youth Orchestra of Calderdale, England visited Halifax, Nova Scotia, but finally, here they were. The 55 members of the Halifax School Symphony Orchestra, 8 of their teachers, Supervisor of Music Education Kay Poppy, along with Halifax Deputy Mayor Jerry O'Malley and Mrs. O'Malley, on their way to repay the visit. Before continuing on to Halifax, it was on to the buses and into crowded London for their very own personalized tour by Peter Edmondson.
So we're just about to go under Admiralty Arch. As I say, that the gates in front of you and the centre are only open for the Queen on ceremonial occasions, and we're going to come through into Trafalgar Square. So as you go under the arch and look on the left, another of London's famous landmarks is coming up. Trafalgar Square and Nelson's Column and an awful lot of pigeons. We're going to go down Whitehall now, going down to the seat of government of the British Isles, United Kingdom. On the left, you'll see the House of Commons, with Big Ben, which is another building that's being renovated, immediately on your left when you pass the corner of this building. There it is. If it had been 5 minutes later, you'd have heard it striking. We have negotiated with the Queen's household at Buckingham Palace, and if we can get there in time, and it really is a matter of time, then it has been agreed that by special favour we'll be allowed to go through through the gates, which is not usually allowed by people in the United Kingdom, especially for you. Now, it is a matter of time, because what we're wanting to do, or what they're allowing us to go through, is so that you can actually go through and watch the changing of the guard. We're coming round now to the view that you normally, the one you see. Now you can see the guards there. It is a guards regiment that are actually changing on your left through the fence. Marvellous bit of British ceremonial.
Tour it had been for sure, but for the young Nova Scotians, a chance for at least a glimpse of the pageantry and history of a great city. But then it was back on the buses for the 4-hour drive north to Halifax in the rolling Yorkshire hills. And in the early evening, the grounds of Wellesley Park and a meeting with members of the Calderdale Orchestra and their families, who would be their hosts for the coming week.
We're waiting for an official welcome. All a bit shy standing in.
Grove City, when Halifax to Halifax returns after these messages.
Some home renovators had problems installing new energy-saving windows. New windows don't...
Well, I had the pleasure and privilege to visit Halifax, Nova Scotia with the youngsters from Halifax from Calderdale here in England 5 years ago. And I was most impressed. In fact, I thought your musicians who were working in the Halifax School's music program 5 years ago were really excellent. Now, I don't know how you improve on excellent, but certainly I've seen your music develop over these 5 years, and it's better than excellent if you can have such a thing. They really have been, and I'm talking about your young musicians, they really have been fine ambassadors. They've made marvellous music. The standards have been absolutely superb. They've impressed absolutely everyone, and I know that over there in Halifax, you must be very proud of what they do in the music world on your behalf.
The long months of planning and preparation, the rehearsals, the fundraising, all came to an end with this gala concert at the Cohen Auditorium in Halifax on May the 8th, the very evening before their departure for England. It was a grand send-off, a large audience of family and friends, lots of smiles, lots of encouragement, lots of applause. It seemed like a twinkling of an eye, and they were there. Halifax, England is a bustling city, the administrative centre of the borough of Calderdale. It is protected on all sides by the lush green hills of West Yorkshire. The heart of the city is striking indeed, with its grand Victorian facades, delicate stone carvings. In fact, the people of Halifax have fiercely protected the beautiful Victorian appearance of their city from the usual onslaught of concrete and glass, neon and plastic. Halifax is an ancient city with a colourful history. Just up the hill from the town centre stands a reconstruction of the gibbet, an English variation on the French guillotine. The gibbet dates back to the 11th century and dealt a harsh justice to wrongdoers and thieves for over 400 years. It's Saturday afternoon and the city is alive. The Canadian visitors are eager for some sightseeing and a chance to try out their pounds and pence at the spectacular indoor Borough Market.
very serious economic position going off, and it's affecting a lot of businesses. But we're going in for quite a lot of tourism, and we're very, very pleased to see that people come here as we would like to go. But of course, the value of the pound has dropped so much that it's a lot of money for us to come to your...
Just down from the market stands a magnificent square known as Peace Hall, so named because of the lengths or pieces of cloth which were once sold from its 315 merchants' rooms. Peace Hall provides a dramatic setting for this performance of Entrada, from 3 pieces by the brass ensemble under the direction of David Staples.
My hat. I bought it in Haworth. £8.99 at a nice wool store.
Can you guess how little it is for a 4-minute...
You're watching Halifax to Halifax, highlights from the visit of the school symphony orchestra of Halifax, Nova Scotia, to Halifax, England. A performance now from the send-off concert, a bit of mallet magic, in fact, the senior percussion ensemble directed by Alan Gaskin and Xylophonia.
Hello, I'm Jane from Halifax, England, and this is my guest Cheryl from Nova Scotia, Halifax. And I'm trying to teach her how to say the proper Yorkshire way of speaking. For example, to say ta instead of thank you.
Ta. It was interesting that we were singing a song on Ilkley Batat, and we didn't think that any of the words, we thought they'd think we were all crazy, but we came here and they actually talk like that.
What, on Ilkley Batat? That means on Ilkley without your hat. And they sang it for us, and we thought the pronunciation of the Yorkshire dialect was really brilliant.
They say, come up and eat up ducks. And for you Nova Scotianers, that's eat up ducks. Ducks. Quack, quack. Ducks. You say it now. You say, come and eat up ducks the way you do.
Come and eat up ducks.
See, that's the way it's written. We couldn't believe it when they actually said it that way.
Yeah, it was really good, that song. We went to a big restaurant called Ladbroke Mercury for a night, and the Canadians did a concert for us, and they laid on a meal. That was really good. I enjoyed that.
We'd like to invite all the students from Calderdale to come up and sing with us. Trust me, you know the song. Would you all come up and join us?
And out across the moors they went to visit all manner of beautiful and interesting places, such as the ancient Skipton Castle, where time seemed to stand still and history come alive.
Good morning and welcome to Skipton Castle. Now, I don't know if you've any idea why there is a castle here in Skipton, but here we are in front of you, you see a genuine castle, one which was actually built as a castle for defensive reasons. Now, it dates back to the time after the Norman conquest, and I don't know how much history you know of our country, but in 1066, the Normans conquered England, but they didn't conquer Scotland and Wales. So the Normans looked around for suitable places where they could recruit local people to train them to be soldiers, and in this particular area, to defend England against the Scots. The Scots were always coming back.
of Dunvegan, the Solo Strings, conducted by Ninette Babineau.
We'd like to introduce to you our wonderful bus drivers. This is Derek.
And this is Ron.
Have you enjoyed driving a bunch of Canadians around your country?
It's been a privilege to fetch you lot across. We take children from all over the world when they come into England. But you have been the best behaved and the cleanest children we've ever come across. And we can't get over it. It's just overwhelming for us to go back into the depot at night and find no rubbish on the floor. It's, well, we just can't believe it.
You didn't mind our singing?
Oh, we enjoyed it. No, you can dance, you can do anything. It wouldn't matter. We're used to children, you see, but you've been great, exceptional.
How do you fit those big buses inside those little streets?
Well, it all comes by experience. We used to going all through the countryside, finding these predicaments, and of course we've got to know the width of the bus and the length of the bus and how we can do it. If we can't go through, we just don't go through. That's the whole idea, yeah?
We're just like any normal driver. You either go through or shut your eyes and hope for best.
That's right.
Thank you very much for putting up with us.
Thanks for showing us around.
It's been a pleasure, a real
lovely.
pleasure.
Marvellous. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ronnie and Derek, and together they took their young passengers through some of the most majestic scenery in all the British Isles. Scenery which provides a beautiful backdrop for the cello ensemble under the direction of Adam Mueller, playing the Sonata No. 6 in B-flat by Vivaldi. Well, getting the huge buses down the narrow English country roads, no problem for Derek and Ronnie. Getting the large symphony instruments off the bus, now that was something else.
It's called Gigglewitz School. It's boarding or day school, and very good, very educational. There's a lot of sport going on in the afternoon after lessons. Tuesdays and Thursdays, Saturdays. It's a half day, which means you have 5 lessons in the morning and then you do sport for a couple of hours in the afternoon. Oh yes, at 4 o'clock there's a concert over in the sports hall, which is over there. It's like a concert, and they're touring around Great Britain. And they're just coming over to Giggleswick, and we've been asked to go and watch, and we said yes, we would.
watching Halifax to Halifax, highlights of the exchange visit of the Halifax School Symphony Orchestra to Halifax, England. More now from the send-off concert at the Cohen Auditorium. Overture in D by Franz Schubert, Patricia Wyman conducting. While in England, each member of the orchestra received a heaping helping of Yorkshire hospitality from their host family. Violinist Ben Armstrong was the guest of the Earnshaws. Miriam Earnshaw is the concertmaster of the Calderdale Youth Symphony Orchestra.
I went to Canada 5 years ago with the orchestra when I was 13, and I stayed with a very nice family who made me feel very much at home. And one of the things that struck me was the friendliness of the Canadians and the sort of relaxed atmosphere, and also, of course, the beautiful countryside, the lakes and mountains. And we travelled round Yarmouth and Truro, and we gave about 13 concerts in 11 days, which was quite an itinerary. And I very much enjoyed it, and I thought Canada was just very beautiful. Seeing I was in Canada, it's lovely to be able to receive the Canadians over here, and I've got Ben Armstrong here to stay with me, and we get on very well, and we have a lot of good conversations. He's a viola player and I play the violin. One thing I can say about the Canadians, and Ben in particular, is that they're always very open, and you never have any trouble just getting on with them and talking to them about anything. And it's great to have them over here, to see them again.
Sunday was indeed an exciting day as the Nova Scotia visitors and their host families paid a visit to the walled city of York. And what better way to see the historic city than a ride in an open carriage? Kathy Laurie MacDonald, Tom Curry, Matthew Dick, and John Curry, Ave Verum Corpus by Mozart. York Minster Cathedral, the glory of York, known simply as the Minster. The giant carillon echoing across the city, calling all to evensong. Following the service, the young Canadian visitors performed, under the direction of Kay Potty, in the North Transept, and experienced for themselves the thrill of singing as a choir in one of the world's great cathedrals.
Work for an electric company.
The Halifax Civic Theatre, site of the final concert in which the Nova Scotia and English orchestras would perform together for the first time. The conductor was to be Judith Perrin. Rehearsal time was short but very intensive.
Now there's a slight rake towards the end of that bar, almost as a pause before you go back into 4/4. And when you hit 4/4 time again, there's a little push on it. And all these runs down have to take over from each other. Ta, 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 as it runs through the orchestra. Go back, please, 1 bar and 1 note before the 6/4 time. 1 bar, 1 note. 1, 2, 3. Somebody hit that first beat of that 4/4 bar before I did. Once more, please. Same place. 1, 2, 3.
Thrilled and delighted to have the students from Halifax, Nova Scotia with us. We've been looking forward to it for 5 years because it's 5 years since we took the Calderdale Youth Orchestra to Halifax, Nova Scotia, and we had a fantastic, wonderful, exciting time, and we've been delighted to have them with us this last 6 days. It hasn't been long enough, but we've tried whilst they've been with us to show them a little bit of the area, and they've played concerts in all our areas. And tonight, it's very exciting indeed in that we're doing a combined concert with our own Calderdale Youth Orchestra and the Halifax Nova Scotia Schools Orchestra. The finale of the concert is extra special because it's the first performance of a piece of music written by one of the instrumental staff of Calderdale called Festival Prelude and March, and we're going to play it with all the musicians joining together. And if the musicians get as much thrill out of playing it as I hope I'm going to get out of conducting it, then I'm sure it'll be a wonderful performance.
then a final word of thanks by Kate Potter.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed exciting for the students from the Halifax School Symphony Orchestra and our staff to have been here in England, Halifax, England, this past week, after so many months of anticipation. I'm sure that every expectation that our students and our teachers had, they've been more than fulfilled in the past week. I would like Judith and her staff to come out and take a bow, and we would like to express our thanks to Judith, who has done a fantastic job of organizing this week's activities. Judith. We would like you, Judith, to accept this small memento of this visit that we've had with you, and of the good times and the dear friendships that we've formed. We love you.
On CBC television, escape becomes an obsession for the prisoner.
Where am I? Do you still think you can escape? Going to escape and come back.